Alright, today we're going to be doing a oil change on the 2015 Duramax. I always do my own oil changes, so I just figured I'd do a quick video on what goes into it real fast. First, I use the AC Delco. That's the number right there, PF2232 for the oil filter. I got the oil filter wrench cap here, makes it a little easier, 93 millimeter. Got that at Walmart. And then for the oil plug, you just need 14 millimeter wrench socket, and then I lay a little blanket down in case I spill anything, and then oil catch pan, obviously. So let's get to it. All right, so the first thing you're gonna want to do is come under your truck and then find the oil drain plug, which is it's pretty much right in the center between your front tires. That's the 14 millimeter wrench you're gonna need for that, and then just go ahead and loosen that up. Make sure your catch pan is there for the oil. Maybe wear some gloves, and that's all there is to that. So we got the oil draining into the pan. I like to use this little blanket in case the wind happens to take any of it and it misses the pan or whatnot. One thing I do recommend is that it makes it easier to drain your oil when the vehicle is ran for just a little bit. When the oil's warm, it makes it a little easier to come out of there. Alright guys, so we're down to a slow trickle now. So I kind of moved the oil pan over kind of more underneath the oil filter now, which is the blue guy, straight to the left and up. I already put my wrench cap on there, so I'm just gonna wrench that off. Just make sure you got the catch band underneath it to catch your oil. And I'm gonna set the camera down real quick and get that going. Alright, so let that oil, that's where the oil filter was. We're just letting that finish out drain. I'll just wipe it off a little bit when it's on here, and then I already put the oil plug back in, but got my oil filter here. And what I did on this gasket is I put some fresh oil around this gasket, just to help in the future with taking it off and whatnot. So I just wiped some of that oil off up there on where the filter goes. So I'll get the filter, and then the filter is pretty self-explanatory. It just screws on there to threads. So I'll put this down. All right, we're just putting this on. Just put it on hand tight, and then all we gotta do is get it on there hand tight, and then it's like a quarter turn after that, and that should be fine. You don't want to put it on too tight because you could have issues getting it off next time you want to change your oil. So just make sure it doesn't leak, and then again make sure your oil plug's back in before we go up back to the engine bay to fill it back up with oil. Alright, now we can go up to the engine bay. It takes 10 quarts. I just buy the 2.5 gallon jug at Fleet Farm, and 5W40. This is the oil I've been using for the whole life of my truck, and I'm at 181,000 miles now, so I think it's holding up pretty well. You just find your oil fill cap. I'm gonna take that off. Put a funnel in there so we don't make a mess, and then just fill her up. Alright, so filled her up, put the cap back on. I'm just gonna go start the truck, check for oil pressure. Like I said, this is the oil I've been using ever since I bought the truck. Extreme temperature. This is up in Minnesota. I was down south, sorry, down in New Mexico. I couldn't find this type of oil. They had I think it was the 15W40. So alright, so we finished filling it up with oil. We're just gonna start it quick. Like I said, I've been doing these oil changes on my own truck. The only ones I had someone else do were the first couple free ones when you first buy a Chevy. But other than that, I've been doing the oil changes like this myself. I'm at 181,331 miles and haven't had any issues, so I'm just gonna check everything's good on the oil pressure and whatnot. So yeah, it looks beautiful. It's just a little over that 60 mark right now, just because we put cold, thick oil in there. Just gotta warm up a little. So now scroll through your little dash, get to your oil life, and to reset that, just click over to the right, then reset, and it'll put you back at 100. That's how I usually keep track of my oil life, and I usually don't change it up until it gets down to that 0 mark. But the reason why I'm changing it this time is I had some heavier weight in there from when I was in New Mexico. All I could get was, I think it wasn't the extreme temperature, it was still the T6, but it was I think it was 15W instead of 5, but I always used the 5W. So alright, now that we checked the oil pressure, I'm just gonna go back to the hood, check level. Alright, I already checked the oil pressure, so I'm just gonna check the level now. So just pull out your dipstick. It's gonna be a little shaky, but so take your dipstick, and it's hard to see, but I'm gonna clean it off quick. So nice and clean. Then I'm gonna put it back in. Bear with me here about the shakiness. I'm gonna put it back in there. Alright, pull it back out again. And then your new oil should be right on the hash marks. So see that? It's a little hard to see there. I might dip it one more time because that does seem a little low. So I'm gonna dip it one more time just to make sure. So that oil might be settling still. See where it's at. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is there hockey today?
Yeah, it looks good. It's right on the hash marks. Alright, so we're all done. That's all there is to her. Oil change on the 2015 Duramax. If you liked the video or it helped you out, please subscribe to my channel. It helps. Thank you, and good night.